What if I told you that the last 90 minutes of your day decide the next 12 hours of your life? That most people lose tomorrow tonight, not because they're weak or unlucky, but because they hand the wheel to noise at the exact moment they should be taking command. They scroll until their eyes burn. They argue in their heads with ghosts. They replay losses and rehearse disasters that never happen. They fall asleep with their mind open like an unlocked door in a bad neighborhood. And then they wonder why the morning feels like a break-in. The ancient Stoics would recognize this instantly. They didn't have phones, but they had torches, banquets, rumors, obligations, and endless reasons to drift. What separated the few was a simple, ruthless habit. They closed the day with intention. They did not chase comfort into the night. They built clarity there. They treated the evening like a forge where tomorrow's blade is shaped while the world gets softer. If you've ever woken up already behind, if you've ever felt your best self trapped under yesterday's mess, this is your map out. Tonight, not next week, you will become part of the 1% who end the day like this. Calm, clean, prepared, so you can wake up dangerous in the best possible way. Before we step into the work, turn your intention into a tiny public action that the algorithm and your future self will both notice. Subscribe to the channel right now and hit like so this message reaches the people who need it exactly when they might throw another night away. And as we go, speak up in the comments. Does this happen to you at the end of the day, when you know you should close things but end up scrolling the feed? Do you know someone who did that last night and woke up wrecked today? Tag this person and write one line you'll use tonight. Your words are not decoration. They're the first brick in the new routine. The secret is not a hack. It is an alignment. You're going to change the last hour and a half of your day from accidental to architectural. That begins with a simple vow. Nights will no longer be a landfill for everything I didn't control. Nights will be the launch pad. To build that launch pad, you choose a time when the day stops taking from you and you start shaping tomorrow. Maybe that's 9:01 p.m., maybe 10 p.m., maybe earlier if your mornings start before dawn. The time is less important than the promise. At this hour, the world gets dimmer and my intention gets brighter. Flick the first switch and you'll feel it. The room gets quieter even if the city outside doesn't. You stop refreshing the feed and start refreshing the self. That sound you hear is power returning to the person who owns it. The first move is the shutdown, not of life, of the day's demands. Close loops without drama. Skim your inbox and move anything not worth your night into tomorrow's batch with a clean label. If there's a grenade, an email that can ruin your sleep, don't pull the pin by replying hot. Park it with a line to yourself. Respond after 10 a.m. when your head is cold. Write 3 short sentences in a notebook about what actually happened today, not the version your anxiety is inventing. What did I do? What did I learn? What will I do next? You'll find something strangely comforting about seeing the day reduced to ink. The mind can inflate a small mistake into a monster. Paper has a way of shrinking monsters back to their size. Then you tend to the body, because the body is the stage where the mind performs. Dim the room earlier than you think you need to. Your eyes are not meant for stadium lights at midnight. Drink a glass of water. Thirst is a quiet thief of presence. Step into a shower that ends a little cooler than you like. Your nervous system understands that you're switching states. Choose a scent you use only at night. The brain loves anchors. Stretch for 5 minutes without chasing pain, just enough to tell your muscles the fight is over. People think the evening secret is mystical. Most of it is simple biology finally treated with respect. Now the heart of it, the ledger. The Stoics reviewed their conduct not to punish themselves, but to keep a clean account. You do it without theatrics. Where did I wobble, and how will I repair? Where did I stand firm, and how will I repeat? You write a single line of gratitude that does not perform for anyone. The text you finally sent, the call you took even though you were tired, the way the sun looked on the way home, the way you put the phone down when your partner spoke. Gratitude is not a filter. It is a stabilizer. It reminds your mind that the day was not only a list of glitches, it was a life, and you lived it. Then the move that separates you from the old crowd, prep the next mission. People drown in mornings because they wake up into indecision. You will wake up into a plan. Write the 3 outcomes that would make tomorrow a win, even if nothing else happened. Start each with a verb and the smallest concrete shape you can. Not finish the project, but draft the 3-point outline. Not get in shape, but walk for 12 minutes after breakfast. Not be better, but send the one sentence that moves the conversation forward. Put the hardest of the 3 first. Put its tool in place. Shoes by the door. File on the desktop. The calendar invite sent to yourself so future you can act without debating. Debate is a morning thief. Decisions made at night are gifts to a tired brain that would rather reach for a screen than a standard. You will want to keep the phone near because you think you are the exception. You are not. Put it outside the bedroom. If you must keep it inside, put it face down in a drawer with a timer inside the drawer and the cord plugged in far enough that grabbing it would require a comedy of effort. Set an alarm clock like it's 1998 and go to sleep without a glowing rectangle whispering 1,000 petty emergencies into your ear. There is a reason the 1% protect the edges of their day like border guards. The edges decide what comes through the gate. Defend them, and the land inside changes. The mind will fight. It will throw you memories you didn't ask for. It will replay a conversation. It will build a negative highlight reel and loop it. This is the moment you earn your quiet. You do not try to erase thoughts. You give your attention a job. Breathe out longer than you breathe in and count the exhale like you're letting air out of a balloon slowly so it doesn't squeal. If you pray, pray. If you meditate, observe. If you are new to both, count backward by 3s from 300 and let boredom come. Boredom is not your enemy. It is the doorway through which real rest enters after years of being barred by noise. The Stoic evening isn't empty. It's deliberate. It's the opposite of a mind wandering a dark parking lot looking for trouble. There is a practice the old ones loved that belongs here. Amor fati. Love what happened today, not because it was what you asked for, but because it is the material from which you can build strength. You write 3 lines transforming something that annoyed you into training. The meeting that went nowhere becomes patience practice. Next time, ask for the outcome before we start. The missed workout becomes proof that my plan needs a smaller promise. 10 minutes tomorrow at lunch. The harsh comment becomes ego drill. Respond next week with results instead of words. When you love fate this way, you take the weight off your chest and put it into your legs, where it can become movement. At the midpoint of this video, breathe with me and make a choice in public that sticks. Subscribe now and hit like so this quiet power spreads in a world obsessed with noise. And answer in the comments with something specific. Does this happen to you? Do you skid at the end of the day? Do you know someone who does this every day? Tag them and write the hour you'll choose tonight for shutdown. If you've never done this before, don't wait for a perfect night. Pick a time and hold it once. One night done builds a bridge your future nights can walk across. Now we get more surgical. The evening secret you're building has 3 layers: debrief, design, and defense. The debrief is the ledger you already started. What was done, what was learned, what is next. The design is your intentional layout of tomorrow's first 90 minutes so your future self doesn't get robbed by drift. The defense is everything you remove from your night because it steals from your morning. Debrief takes 5 to 10 minutes. Design takes 10 to 20. Defense takes 1 decision and lasts until you fall asleep. The 1% repeat these layers until their nights have gravity. Gravity pulls good choices into orbit. Design the first 90 minutes like you would design a mission. Distill the inbox into a single set of tasks you will not open until after the first block of deep work. Put the necessary files into a folder named with the time of your first block. Place a piece of paper on your desk with the first line you will write or the first calculation you will make. If you train in the morning, lay out your clothes and fill your bottle. If you pray or journal, set the object you use in the place you sit. Bring the morning into the night until tomorrow feels as familiar as a room you've already walked through. Familiarity kills friction. Friction, left alive, breeds delay. Defense is where many fail because it feels less like doing and more like not doing. But to defend a boundary is to do something powerful and adult. You stop eating heavy food late, not because you're punishing yourself, but because you like waking up clear. You shut light sources that mimic noon. You choose a time after which no message deserves your energy unless someone you love is in real need. You turn down the volume on competing demands so your mind does not mistake a buzz for importance. You tell the people who matter that you're turning in early and that you will be better company tomorrow. You make your room cooler than your comfort would choose. You let the night be dark. You can fold love into this. The 1% do not end the day as lone robots. They end it with kindness where they live. You ask your partner genuinely what mattered to them today, and you listen without a phone on the table. You write a note to your kid that they'll find in the morning. You send the message to your friend that says, "I thought of you when I saw that you're around today." Virtue is not hungry for applause. It is hungry for right action quietly done. This is part of the secret. A peaceful night requires more than private discipline. It invites relational honesty. Say the apology that's been catching in your chest. Say thank you where you've been taking someone for granted. Say, "I'm tired and I want to be with you before sleep," in a way that sounds like you. The Stoics were not cold. They were clear. Clarity can be loving. Mornings go wrong because nights ignore them. Nights get stolen because evenings have no guard. You will be your own guard. The enemy is not people. It is drift. Drift is gravity working in the wrong direction. To reverse it, you make the smallest, most repeatable choices you can, and you treat them like sacred appointments. Choose a closing time and let it be boring. Do the ledger even when the day was ugly. Put the shoes by the door even when you feel silly. Read the 3 outcomes you wrote before your head hits the pillow. Put your hand on your chest once and tell your nervous system the truth out loud. We are safe. We did enough. We know what comes next. Then sleep. Travel will test this. So will children, shift work, and seasons of grief or pressure. The principle survives. If your closing time must float, choose a closing cue. A particular song, a particular light, a particular sentence you say that tells your mind, the day is ending now. Cues matter when clocks cannot be trusted. If you're sharing a small space, let your journal live in your bag and your ritual live in your headphones. If the baby wakes 3 times, reduce the ritual to its densest core. 1 line of ledger, 1 line of love for fate, 1 line for tomorrow. This is not religion. It is resilience. Entrepreneurs, listen closely. The business will try to own your nights because there is always another thing to do. If you allow it, your creativity shrinks because brains do not produce gold in rooms where the lights never go off. Put a closing time on your company, even if your company is 2 people and a borrowed desk. Protect your ability to see clearly tomorrow. A single night stolen occasionally is a sprint. A month stolen in a row is the seed of burnout. The Stoic entrepreneur is not the one who never stops. It is the one who stops at the right time and starts with force again. Students, you will be told that all-nighters prove you care. They do not. They prove you didn't plan, or that the system is squeezing you. If you must push once, push. But build your nights as if your grades depended on sleep, because they do. Your memory consolidates when you rest, not when you stare at a screen begging a page to enter your head at 3 a.m. End the day with a mini lecture you give yourself about what you studied. Teach the air the 3 points you want to remember. Then sleep on purpose and let the brain do the job it was designed to do while you stop trying to do everything yourself. Athletes, creators, managers, parents, it's all the same physics. Repeatable closings make repeatable openings. Clean openings make consistent performance. Consistent performance makes identity. Identity makes decisions easier. Easier decisions protect your nights even more. This is compounding. People talk about compounding money and miss compounding discipline. The second is more valuable because it protects the first. You may ask, isn't this rigid? No. Rigidity breaks, rhythm bends. Nights like these create rhythm. Rhythm forgives a missed step but carries you back into time. When life explodes and your ritual gets torn, you do not throw the instrument away. You find the beat again when the room is quiet enough to hear. The first night you hit after a collapse is the most important. Make it small, make it gentle, make it real. Picture 2 films. In the first, you relax by numbing yourself. The screen glows until the only thing you feel is a dull ache behind the eyes. You wake up with the same screen in your hand, your back stiff, your jaw clenched, your mind full of other people's lives. In the second film, you treat the last hour like a pilot landing a plane in weather. You run the checklist without drama. You slow the descent, set the angle, log the flight, plan the next route, cool the engines, speak to the crew with respect, and step into the night as a person who knows what they're doing. Which film would the person you want to be watch on a loop? This is where you take ownership. If this is landing for you, subscribe now and hit like so the message of disciplined evenings edges out the endless content that steals evenings for sport. And tell me in the comments now, not later, does this happen to you? Where exactly do you lose yourself at night? Do you know someone who always says, "I deserve it," and throws away the next morning? Tag them and write the closing time you choose for tonight. This small public line is a lever. Use it. We will close with a sequence you can speak to yourself when the lights dim. Say it gently. Say it like a friend speaking to someone they love. I close the day with respect for what was possible and what was not. I lay down what I cannot control and carry forward one decision I can. I record my proof so memory can rest. I turn love into action where I live. I place tomorrow's tools where my hands will find them before my excuses do. I choose a time after which no one else's urgency owns my peace. I sleep as a warrior sleeps when the watch is set and the camp is safe. I wake as a builder wakes when the plan is clear and the first brick is waiting. If you've ever thought that control means squeezing harder, the night will teach you a better truth. Control is choosing what to hold and what to release, when to act and when to close, what deserves your attention and what does not. Nights like these teach the lesson without shouting. You end, you honor, you prepare, you rest. The morning meets you like a partner instead of a thief. And because you are human, there will be nights you miss. Don't make a religion of shame out of a single lapse. Make a repair. Write one sentence of ledger and one outcome for tomorrow. Put the phone outside and sleep. Begin again. The 1% are not superhuman. They are ordinary people who return to the ritual that returns them to themselves. If this helped, if it moved even one tile in the mosaic of your evenings, subscribe and hit like, so the next person who needs this finds it at 9:57 p.m. instead of a thread that steals their sleep. In the comments, mark your commitment with a line your future eyes will see. Does this happen to you? Do you know someone who did this? Write the time of your shutdown. Write tomorrow's first outcome. Write the small thing from today that you will turn into practice. Then close the screen and practice. Your evening is not a hallway you shuffle down toward bed. It is a room where you choose who walks out the door in the morning. Walk out ready.